Welcome back to Copper Star Precision, the channel dedicated to getting you more points at your competitive shooting matches. Today we're going over the August 2022 NRL22 Course of Fire. This is stage 3 in the pamphlet. It's called Top Gun, Never Leave Your Wingman. Pretty interesting stage here. Can be quite difficult, but we'll talk about how we can strategize the best way to go about this stage. So we've got a KYL rack, this time at 42 yards. Usually it's at 35 yards, so it's a little farther away with the same size targets. So it's should be a little bit more difficult to hit. We have a 2-inch at 69 yards. I have all the target sizes here in mils, just for reference as the relative size of the targets. So a 0.8 mil target, pretty big. So the far target shouldn't be as much of an issue. The issue is probably going to be the KYL rack itself. Let's look at the stage description. So on the start signal, the shooter will assume a prone supported position with only 2 rounds in their magazine and engage the 1-inch KYL targets with 2 shots. So we start with 2 rounds in the mag and we're engaging just the biggest target on the KYL rack twice. The shooter will then retrieve their spare mag behind the firing line, roughly 10 feet away, and then engage the targets in the following order. Far shot, KYL rack, large to small 1 shot each, far target, KYL, large, small, 1 round each. So as far as strategy for this stage goes, essentially we're going to dial for the KYL rack and set the parallax for the KYL rack. These are the smallest targets on the stage. We definitely want to make sure we are dialed in for those targets. And because my dope is negative 1/10 of a mil to 6/10 of a mil, the difference being 7/10 of a mil, I only have half hash marks on my scope. So basically between 0.5 and 1 is 0.75. So I'm just going to take those 2 markings, the 0.5 and the 1 mil, and I'm just going to bracket the target between those 2, and I should be able to hit the target. The target itself is, like I said, 0.8 mils in diameter, so it's not, terribly difficult to hit. So even if I took the 0.5 and aimed it at the top of the target, I'd still probably hit somewhere on the target. The challenge is going to be the KYL rack, and there's going to be an interesting little caveat with getting the magazine, all that kind of stuff. So I head out to the range and I'll discuss some additional strategy that might help you with this stage. Welcome to stage 3 of the August NRL22 Course of Fire. We're at the range. This stage is called Top Gun, Never Leave Your Wingman. Interesting stage. We've got a KYL target and then we'll have another target we have to engage, but the first 2 rounds are going to be on the largest of the KYL targets. And what makes that interesting is we start with a 2-round magazine and then we have to go get our other 10-round magazine. So we start with 2 rounds. And we're going to have to wait for that spinner. If we impact the first shot, we're going to have to wait for that spinning motion on the KYL rack to stop. So it's going to be a little bit of a waiting game. As far as positions go, it's prone, so I think everyone's comfortable shooting prone, but we're going to talk a little bit about time management in this stage. So we want to get that first shot off quickly as we can to make an accurate hit on the target, because we're going to be waiting probably 5, 6, 7, maybe even 10 seconds for that thing to calm down where we can take another shot, depending on your KYL rack and if it's been greased up recently or how much weight is on the steel plates and that kind of stuff. So it's going to be a waiting game for those first 2 shots. Now, luckily, after the second shot, which we hopefully also hit, it's still going to be spinning, but in that time, we're going to go run back 10 feet, grab our 10-round magazine, and then we're going to engage the far target before coming back to that first KYL target. So in that time of getting the magazine, loading the magazine, engaging the far target, and back, hopefully it's also stopped spinning by then. But those first 2 shots is going to be a hurry up and wait game. So I just go into the stage expecting that and don't get frustrated or flustered by the fact that you think you're running out of time. You should have plenty of time. It's 12 rounds, 120 second stage time, so it's 10 seconds a shot. What we can control is how fast we get on target, and that's kind of what I want to talk about today. I'm not going to talk about prone positional shooting because I think most people are comfortable with that, but let me just tell you how I engage the stage. So we start standing, rifle and all gear in hand. So I'll have my rear bag, my bipod would be deployed at an appropriate height. I'll be standing like this, and instead of just standing around, moping around, anything like this, I'm actually going to have my feet about shoulder width apart. I'm going to have the rifle on the inside of my thigh, because that way the rifle can be in line with my right eye. And I'm right-handed and I'm right eye dominant, so I shoot with my right eye. So if you're left-handed, it'd be the opposite, right? So I've got my rifle inside my thigh here, right eye, barrel, target, all in one line. So if the KYL rack's over here, I'm like this. If the KYL rack is over there, I'm like this. So I'm lined up. As soon as that timer goes off, I'm going to put the rifle down, put my hands down, rear bag still in this hand. I'm going to pop behind the rifle, lift the rifle, rear bag, and I should be on target. And then I can go and engage pretty quickly. I want to try and do that within the first couple seconds of the stage.
because I'm gonna be sitting, and then after that, I'm gonna be waiting for 5-10 seconds for that thing to calm down again. So at full speed, have my rifle like this. You know, does the shooter understand the course of fire? Yes. Is the shooter ready? Ready, stand by. Timer goes beep, down, do a little reverse burpee on target. I need to tighten up my cant on my bipod, but you get the idea, and then we're engaged. So this is really a stage of time management. Don't get discouraged. Still make good hits. But like I said, those first 2 shots, you're gonna be hurrying up and waiting, unfortunately. So don't get frustrated, keep that in mind. And you know, if this tips was helpful, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. And until I'll see you next time, score more points.